box plot is, it's basically used to show something called as a the different kinds of statistical values in your data. Okay, so you can plot it for, let's say, one measure, or you need one measure but you need zero or more dimension. That's the rule for the box plot. It's one of the important graphs in Tableau or in any statistical field when you do data analysis. Okay, it looks something like this. It will look something like this. It has two ends, two single ends. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I'll draw it on a whiteboard, which will be more easy. The first is on the top and the bottom, I have two lines. Okay, they show you the minimum and the maximum value of that measure. Okay, in between, I have something called as a, now this value is actually showing me three things. Okay, so on the top line represents the maximum, the bottom line represents the minimum, which is called as the range of for the value. Okay, don't ignore this diagonal lines. Now, okay, one more thing. So I'll show you something here. Okay, so this is my maximum. Okay, this is my minimum. Okay, this is something called as quartile 3. This is called quartile 3. This is called first quartile. So the bottom of the rectangle is the value for the first quartile. The top of the rectangle is the value for the third quartile. So statistically, this middle line will represent something called as median, and which is also called quartile 2. And Q3 minus Q1 is called the interquartile range. Okay, so what are the values we do? This is called 5-number summary. So once you plot a box plot for any particular range of values, they are called to generate something called as a 5-number summary. What are those 5 numbers? Minimum, maximum, first quartile, median, and third quartile. Okay, and you can see the range of values for the data. You can see a value if there are outlier values. Outliers means some values which are not fitting in the pattern. Okay, you can check the first quartile, third quartile, and median. Okay, you can check the interquartile range. So that is the importance of the box plot. Now, if I close the whiteboard and I will go back to the theory. So the box plot are also known as box and whisker plots. They show the distribution of value along an axis. Boxes indicate the middle 50% of the data, which is the middle of the two quartiles of the data's distribution. We already know middle of the data is basically the median. Yeah. So now the remaining 50% of data on both the sides is represented by lines, also called as whiskers, to display all the points within 1.5 times the interquartile range, which is all the points within 1.5 times the width of the adjoining box, or all points at the maximum extent of the data. The box plot takes one or more measures with 0 or more dimensions. Okay, so now what is the way to create the box plot? Drag and drop the dimension category to the column shelf and profit to the row shelf. Also drag the dimension shift mode to the right of the category in column shelf. Choose the box and whisker plot from show me, and the following chart will appear. Okay, now I will try to show you this. So let's say I take categories of products to column shelf, and I take profit rows. Okay, now if I go to show me and see here, this is the option for box plot. Okay, as the diagram I suggested previously. Now you go here, you will see the upper whisker is 145, upper hinge is 133, median is 122. Okay, lower hinge is 70 and lower whisker is 18. So I did not tell you upper whisker, lower whisker. I told you minimum, maximum, right? So this upper whisker actually represents the maximum. That means I am not considering it for different kinds of subcategory. Okay, I'm just taking subcategory into category, not subcategory. Category in general I'm taking. Okay, category of products, and for that the maximum profit is 145,000. The minimum profit is 18. The upper whisker is the maximum value. Lower whisker means the minimum value. Upper hinge means the third quartile. Lower hinge means the first quartile, and median means 122. So 50% of the value in the profit. 50% of the sum of profit values when we take it in the context of category of products lies below 122,000, and 50% of the values for the sum of profit in the context of category of products lies above 122,000. So that is the importance of box plot. So if you can see this, this particular line, I don't know whether you are able to see it. Okay. So this particular line is the median. Okay. And these are the values above the median. These are the values below the median, the darker gray. Okay. And if you go here, you will actually, if you can see the graph, there are 3 dots. Okay. So technology category has the maximum profit. Office supplies has the second maximum profit, 122,000, and the lowest is in the furniture category of products. Okay. And everything else lies in between. So I'd like that you also try to plot it. Okay. If you want for different categories, I plotted it for category. Okay. Let's say I also want subcategory. I'll plot it and go it in detail. No, not like this. I will put subcategory here into the, I don't, it's not giving me the correct value. I wanted to plot it side by side. Wait 1 second. I will take category, put it here. Okay. Or I'll do one thing. I'll take category. Yeah. For different categories also it's showing me parallelly. Okay. Now see. For furniture, office, and technology, category wise it has split it, giving me 3 box plots for each of the categories. But inside that, then I get the different subcategories. Okay. For each of the category wise, then I can say the minimum, the maximum. And I'm only plotting for category, it's giving me 1 box plot. But when I'm trying to plot category and subcategory, so it's giving me 3 box plots. Why? Because inside category, I have 3 values: furniture, office supplies, and technology. And inside each of these, I have different kind of subcategory value. That's why it is giving me 3 box plots. So if I remove this, okay, let's say I delete this, okay, and I delete this. And then now let's see carefully. In the first case, I'm just plotting category, just category. I take it here and I select box plot. I only get 1 box plot. Inside the category, it is aggregating the category column. So what am I getting? I'm getting the 3 values for category. So one is technology, the other one is office supplies, the other one is furniture. Now, when I try to plot subcategory as well, it divides the categories so that it can fit the subcategories inside 1 box plot. So I take it from here. I take category into columns. I take subcategory into the other part of the columns. I go to show me and I select box plot and I get 3. Because when you go inside, for the furniture, how many values you have? Subcategories: chairs, then there is something called as furniture, then there is another bookcases, furnishings, chairs, and tables. You got my point, right? So now, so this was box plot, and what is the meaning of box plot?